Hey everybody, today I'm showing you this cool slushy machine. I saw this a couple of weeks ago on Amazon and I covered it on Gadgetify. I was actually able to get in touch with these guys to get my hands on one of these. It's a cool frozen drink maker. It has 5 programs, such as your milkshake, your slushy, your frappe, your wine and cocktail. It also has a self-cleaning function. What's neat is you're not required to actually use ice. That's the main benefit of something like this. These guys were kind enough to send me one of these to test. Let's see what's inside. As far as the model, they say it's the S1 frozen drink maker. I don't know how huge the machine is, but it does come with a pretty big package. First, you're gonna have your quick guide, just in case you've never used something like this. I've actually never used something like this. I've seen these machines in the past, but generally I wasn't sure that I needed something like this. Just simple buttons. You have your thickness that you can choose. These are the parts. This is a longer manual. They do tell you that if you are going to use drinks, for example, make sure that it has a certain amount of sugar, and you also have the option to use wine. It's very well packed. This is the tray that connects to the side. You have this as well. After looking at it, it seems to be this. This seems to be good enough to actually hold it. This is the machine. It's not that huge. This is actually about the same size as the Joyoung Y1, for example, that I've covered on the channel. Power cable. You have this one that I assume goes here, or is it the other way? Like that. This is everything that you get. So I've attached this already. It's a very simple process. And then you get this tray that goes here. You don't actually have to even read the guide. Some basic information, how you should set it up. Even though this thing is pretty heavy, you can actually see the bottom like that. This opens that. You can remove this, and you can remove this. This is your handle that pours the drink. So this is the mechanism here. Pretty straightforward. They do explain to you how much sugar you need to add, or you're going to have issues. When you hear the rubbing noise, it means that you need more sugar. Just put this here. Make sure that it lines up like that, and then you can actually lock it. So it's now locked in place. Doesn't move. This is your handle. As far as the size, so this is the tray. Before using this, I'm going to actually clean it with water. So this evaporator is a little bit cooler than the other parts. So when you're ready, you just fill the container from here. I like the fact that the cable is long enough. When I turn it on, that comes on, and this is how you actually select the program. These are the programs that are available. It's pretty safe, so when I remove this, it says it's open. I won't be able to do anything if I close this. Now I can access the menu again. So this is a safety feature that's built in. There's a cleaning mechanism as well. These are the error pages that you get. As far as cleaning, you can put these parts in your dishwasher. As long as it's not a heated dry cycle, you can remove that part as well. So cleaning is pretty easy. You're not supposed to play around with this. You can just use a hot damp cloth to actually clean this. That's about it. Don't push on it, just don't pull on it. For best results with your drinks, they say that it's better that they're cooler. So if they're in the fridge, for example, it's better, but do not add ice. That's not what this machine is about. You have to make sure that this goes and sits in the back. Before getting it started, you want to choose the thickness for your drink. There are default settings for each of these. I'm going to try a few recipes in this. Let's see how they turn out. Now I have this, and I have this. I can use all these, and I think because the percentage seems to be higher than 5%, they should be fine, but we'll see. I haven't tested these before. Before getting it started, you want to clean this. You can do this by removing this, taking it out, and just washing it. Now the machine is locked. I've lowered this. I have to add my ingredients from here. So this is for catching anything extra, and then cleaning it is very easy. Give this enough room from the sides, just in case. Just gonna add this This is my first try, so I'm just gonna go with something that's easy. So now I just have to turn it on, slushy, and then I just press this here. It's getting cooler. This machine will tell you when it's ready. It is going to take about 10 to 15 minutes, as they said in the guide. See, it's forming in there. I see the temperature has dropped significantly. It was around 60 a few minutes ago. They say that you're not supposed to use diet soda, for example. That's not going to work. That's not going to work. That's what they say. I haven't tested it. Maybe I will in the future and see. I don't drink diet soda or soda, but I just wanted to test it. As you can see, this has a lock function. When this is locked and I push that, nothing happens. I actually added a little bit more because I was under the minimum amount. Just wanted to make a little bit more, so that's not gonna be an issue. This one I made with ginger ale and it's now ready. You see that actually has this sign, so now it's ready to be served. Pull this and it will come out. I'm not really into frozen drinks, but this was pretty straightforward. It really is easy to set up. As long as you have enough sugar content in your drink, you should be able to turn it to the frozen drink like this. And if you don't have it, you can just add some to your mix before adding it to the machine. For cleaning, you have to first add water to the max. Make sure that it's under 60 degrees Celsius. Gonna have to add a lot more than this. Clean option here. But just put the machine in cleaning mode and let it run, and it turns itself off after it's done. Gonna slowly remove the water. I'm using this, should have enough sugar content. I'm just gonna add it here. You can add it for 1-2 people or 3 or 4. It just takes longer if you do. This is above the minimum line. I'm just gonna add a little bit more. Choose the program that I want. That's the thickness. Just gonna start this. Now this is gonna get actually cool. This is when I started. It's gonna cool down. The rest of the machine is just hotter. So it is forming. The temperature has dropped even further. That's when it's done. When you're done, there's a beep and then you see the sign. Now this is ready to go. Now the machine is going to actually rotate. So that's the slushy. I already made a couple of slushies with this. Now I'm going to do a frappe. For that, I'm going to use 2 cups of coffee, a cup of half and half, and 1/3 a cup of just sugar and maybe vanilla extract if you want. You can then top it with heavy cream. Simple process. You just have to choose a different program this time. This is everything that I'm using, so I'm just gonna mix them. We're gonna add 2 cups of coffee. You can add more if you want or less. Then a cup of half and half. Just gonna add sugar. Gonna mix it. Then we're just gonna add it from here. So we are just above the minimum, and then I just go here, select this, just gonna add level 3. When you turn it on, it gives you the default program. I just went with a little bit more. Just make sure you close this. I always actually forget. almost ready. It does take 15-20 minutes depending if you add more ingredients. If you experiment, it could take longer. So you have to be a little bit patient. That's the noise level. Once it's ready, you see the sign here. You hear a beep. I personally just leave it go and come back after 30 or 40 minutes. Usually 30 minutes and it's done. Slowly pull on that. And then you can top this with heavy cream, chocolate, or anything that you want. You can put whipped cream on this and you're set. You can just add whipped cream over it. You can remove this part, you can remove this part, and you can also clean this after it's done. Now I'm going to show you the wine program. I don't drink alcohol and this is not my specialty, and I didn't have all the ingredients that we're recommending to make this mimosa or the recipe that they had, but I have this 12.5%. You also need some orange juice, and that's just the reason I chose this recipe, because it's going to be much easier. Now I don't know how it's going to turn out, but I'm going to try it anyway. Let's see. Alcohol content should be under 16%. They say 2.8 to 16%. First I have to remove this cork. This machine has cocktail and wine program. For this one, I'm going with the wine program. The cocktail, if you have bourbon and other ingredients, just add it from the top, right there. Just make sure you're above the minimum amount. So if you're right above the minimum amount, you select wine. It's gonna take about 30 to 45 minutes, depending. We'll see. I'm just gonna go with it. For the wine program, I just used these two ingredients. I didn't add any sugar. This is still going. Notice that if I try to stop it, it doesn't, because it has this lock. One neat thing about this is that it's pretty safe. You can't really put your finger through it. So even though it has an opening and the machine works when this is open, you're not gonna be able to actually access the blade. Finally done, and you see that sign. There we go. So I turn that off. Now, before going, you want to make sure that you empty this and then clean it, obviously. But the process was pretty easy. For more information, please go to gadgetify.com and also youtube.com/gadgetify. I'm going to include a link to where you can buy this. Thanks for watching.